Hello students, welcome to this video on Food and Textile Studies. Today's lesson will be on textile decoration techniques, namely embroidery stitches. Let us look at the learning objectives of this lesson. At the end of this video, you will be able to develop an understanding about embroidery stitches, list the materials required for working embroidery stitches, and identify simple rules to follow for working embroidery stitches. Embroidery is one of the most common techniques used for decorating fabrics. They can be worked either by hand or by machine. There are a variety of embroidery stitches. Some examples are chain stitch, whipped running stitch, and loop stitch, to name a few. Embroidery stitches can be used to shape outlines of design as well as filling effects as shown in the picture below, where chain stitches have been used for the design. Hence, embroidery stitches are used to add color and texture to surface of fabrics and textile items. Before starting your embroidery work, there are simple rules which you need to follow. The first one is to choose an appropriate hand sewing needle. Next is the choice of embroidery thread. There are two types of embroidery threads which can be used. They are the 6-stranded embroidery thread and the coton-perlé thread. You may use any one of these according to your embroidery work. The hand sewing needle should be single-threaded before starting any embroidery stitch. To obtain a beautiful embroidery work, always try to work regular stitches. Remember that stitches should be neat on both right and wrong sides. Finally, once the embroidery work is completed, press on the wrong side of the fabric using a pressing cloth. In doing so, your embroidery work will have a neat finish. Let's do a few activities together to test what you have learned today. We'll start with Activity 1. Can you identify the following embroidery stitches? Picture 1 shows chain stitch and picture 2 illustrates whipped running stitch. Did you get it right? Very good. Next activity is a fill in the blanks exercise. Complete the sentences using the words given to you. So let's start. The first sentence. Embroidery stitches are used to add color and texture to surface of fabrics and textile items. The hand sewing needle should be single-threaded to carry out embroidery stitches. To achieve a beautiful embroidery work, stitches should be regular. Once completed, embroidery work should be pressed on the wrong side of the fabric using a pressing cloth. Did you get it right? Good then. So, let's do a recap. During this video, you have learned that there are a variety of embroidery stitches. For example, chain stitch, whipped running stitch, and loop stitch. Embroidery stitches are used to add color and texture to surface of fabrics and textile items. It is important to choose an appropriate hand sewing needle and embroidery thread before starting an embroidery work. For a beautiful finish, embroidery stitches should be regular and neat. Pressing of embroidery work, once completed, should be done on the wrong side of the fabric using a pressing cloth. This brings us to the end of our lesson. Thank you for your attention. Until the next video, goodbye.